Welcome everyone to the Addictive Drums 2 overview tutorial. So just like in my other overview videos, we're just going to cover the basics of the entire plugin, all of the pages within Addictive Drums 2, just to give you an idea of what you can do with this plugin. And then we will cover the Addictive Drums 2 plugin in much more detail within other tutorial videos on my website, drumangle.com. Now, if you're familiar with the original Addictive Drums plugin, the layout is very, very similar. The interface is a bit bigger, it's a bit wider than the original plugin, and that is because we have more kit pieces that we can utilize. But the general layout is still the same. We have the kit page, the edit page, the effects page, and the beats page. Now, there are a few things within each of these pages that have changed, as of course they've added new features within the plugin. Now, when you first load the plugin, you will most likely see this screen. We have two new pages that allow you to explore and audition the various libraries that you have loaded within the Addictive Drums 2 plugin. And this includes any older Addictive Drums libraries that you have loaded from the original Addictive Drums or from any Addictive Drums AD pack. And you can also browse and audition libraries that you do not yet own. So this is a great way to kind of see what Addictive Drums 2 offers from their library standpoint. Now, this first screen that we're looking at is the gallery page. And this once again just gives you an idea of all the libraries that are available. You have information about the library, where the drums were recorded. And this particular library, the Fairfax Volume 1, is brand new. It was released when the Addictive Drums 2 plugin was released. So when I purchased Addictive Drums 2, I also purchased this Fairfax Volume 1 library. Now, what's great about Addictive Drums 2 is you can purchase any new AD pack and you get the Addictive Drums 2 engine as well. And I can scroll to other pages or use the bullet point navigation, and we can see other libraries that I have installed. So I have the Black Velvet and the Funk AD packs installed, and then I have a few studio libraries installed. Now, these studio libraries are actually the original Addictive Drums version 1 core sample libraries. They basically just organize them into various categories based on the drums for each preset. And if I keep scrolling to the right, eventually I will see libraries that I do not yet own, and you'll see this Buy Now banner when you get to that point. Now from here, I can go into the Explore page. I can either click on the Explore page in the upper right-hand corner, or you can click on either of these windows at the bottom of the screen. Both of them basically just give you a list of presets that you can load or audition from a single screen. So here, I have several different presets on the left, and if I click on any one of these presets, I'm actually loading a preset into the Addictive Drums plugin. I can also click on the play button on the left-hand side. That will not only load the preset, but load associated MIDI as well, so that you can listen to a groove within that preset directly from this screen. Now from here, you can also make pre-fader adjustments to the kick drum, snare drum, and hi-hat, as well as mixer channel adjustments to the overhead and room. So if you want to make adjustments to the mix from this screen while you're auditioning a preset, you can do that here. Now, if I scroll to the right, I get to another screen, and again, I have more presets that I can utilize and adjust within this screen. You can also load a preset from the preset menu in the upper left-hand side, just as you could before. The preset menu looks a bit different in Addictive Drums 2. You have your entire preset list for whatever library you have selected, or you can show all presets for all libraries and audition them from this screen as well. Now, once you have a preset loaded, you can go into the kit screen and make adjustments to the actual kit pieces themselves. Now, for the most part, this layout is pretty much identical to the original Addictive Drums. There's just a few new features within this screen. The first thing you will notice right away is the plugin is much larger. It's wider than before, and that's because we have additional kit pieces that we did not have before. So you can load more kit pieces And we also have 3 flexi pads, and these flexi pads allow you to load any drum you want. So if you have an auxiliary snare on an electronic drum set that you want to utilize, you can do that. Or if you want to bring in one-shot samples, you can do that as well. You can even link drums, which is basically a quick way to layer different drums. If you want to layer 2 different snare drums or a snare drum and another instrument, you can do that with the flexi pads. I can audition any drum, and it's velocity sensitive from the bottom up to the top. Now the load screen or the list screen looks a bit different. You have a list of all your installed instruments for that pad. So this is the bass drum kit piece pad. And so it's showing me all the available bass drums that I have loaded. Anything in color is a bass drum that you have loaded from various libraries that you have installed. Anything that's grayed out is an available kit piece, but it's from a library that you have not yet purchased. So if there's a kit piece that you would like to add, you can do so by simply clicking on the kit piece and clicking on the web shot button at the bottom left-hand corner. This will take you to the Addictive Drums website and allow you to purchase the library where that kit piece resides. If I go into the snare drum list here, you can see in the bottom middle portion of the page, we have various articulations. And this section will show you articulations available for any kit piece. So this is a quick way to audition various articulations before you make your overall kit piece selection. Now, with regard to linking drums, you can see in this preset that I have loaded, this is the Fairfax Volume 1 neutral preset. You see a little link icon on the snare and on the Flexi 3 pad. This means that when I hit the snare drum, either within the interface or on a controller, that it is going to trigger both snares at the same time. Now, if I click on either one of these icons, I can unlink them. So by default within some presets, such as the neutral preset, it is going to provide linked or layered drums already. But I can layer any drum at any time very easily. So if I want to link these drums once again, now that I've unlinked them, I simply click on the link icon, drag it to any kit piece that I want to link it to. In this case, I want to link it to Flexi 3. It's going to give me a list of articulations for that instrument. So if I want to link it to the open snare hit, I can. Or if I want to link it to a rim shot or a shallow hit, I can do that as well. So that's very helpful for layering drums. Not only can you layer any drum you want, you can specifically choose the articulation that you want to use when layering drums. Now before we move on to other pages, the bottom portion of the page is very similar to Addictive Drums version 1 as well. You have your mixer, and this mixer is going to be available on any page that you are on with the exception of the Beats page. So if I go to the Edit page, Effects page, the mixer will still be present. There's a few different functions and features that become available depending on the page you are on, but for the most part, the mixer will always be available. On the Beats page is where the mixer will disappear. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Within the mixer, you can click on any individual channel, and when you do that, it's going to take you to the edit page with that specific drum selected. Of course, we have mute, solo, phase reversal, and output options, just like we did in Addictive Drums version 1. The output options for multi-channel out into a DAW we will talk about in a different video. So we'll go over how to do multi-channel output within the Addictive Drums 2 plugin. Of course, you have fader adjustments for each channel, and all of the close instrument channels as well as the flexis are mono channels. The overhead, room, the bus, and the master channels are all stereo channels. Now we have panning for each channel, or for the stereo channels, we have stereo width adjustment. And we also have a new Send Effects section here. If we click on Send Effects, it will take you to the effects page, and you can globally enable or disable any one of these effects modules, adjust the overall level, which is the same as adjusting the level within the module itself. You can also solo that module to hear exactly what it is doing to the signal. Now, if we click on any of the main instrument channels, we will be taken to the edit page, and we will see a sample section where we can make adjustments for individual instruments. And then we have a channel strip where we can add various effects chains that are available for each channel. If we click on the bus channel, just like in Addictive Drums version 1, we can configure how much of any individual channel we want to send to the stereo bus for further processing. And within the effects page, we can adjust how much of each effects module we want to use within an individual channel as well. Now, one more feature at the bottom of the plugin is the audio recorder feature. The audio recorder feature is always enabled, and whenever there's any audio going through the Addictive Drums 2 plugin, it will record it. It records up to 15 seconds of audio and then allows you to drag that audio out as a stereo wave file into your DAW or onto your desktop. You have a new ability to take a snapshot of the plugin. So rather than just load a preset within the plugin, you can save the entire state of the plugin to recall later. In the bottom right-hand corner, you have a little snapshot icon. And if you click on it, it will save the entire state of the plugin. You can save up to 4 different states. And if you go beyond that, then the oldest snapshot will be deleted. And then at any time, if you make changes to the plugin, you can go back to the snapshot and go right back to where you were before.